routing actually is usually good for deadlock freedom. So we'll take a look at some other routing, oblivious routing. Oblivious routing, remember, network state, you're oblivious of network state, and you basically choose a path that could be different. And the goal, I'll introduce Valiance algorithm. This was actually developed by Leslie Valiance, who won the Turing Award a few years ago. But basically the idea, the goal was to balance network loads. So you have path diversity in the network, and you would like to balance the load across the entire network. How would you do that? Clearly, exploring routing doesn't balance that, right? So that's very much dependent on your communication pattern. You want to be independent of your communication pattern, and you still want to have load balance across all of the links in mesh. So one idea, this algorithm says, randomly choose an intermediate destination, and then route to it first, and then route from there to the destination. So you have this indirect routing, if you will. And between source and intermediate destination, you can use dimension order routing, for example, any kind of routing. So if you think about a mesh, for example, one thing you can say is, I'm going to route from one quadrant to another quadrant. First, I'll randomly pick an intermediate quadrant, and then go from there to the destination node. Make sense? If you're doing it purely randomly, you balance the load across all of the quadrants. Okay, that's the upside, basically. So you utilize your network really well. The downside is non-minimal, clearly, as your packet latency can increase, unless you're lucky that your random first doesn't increase it. Of course, the downside, this could be a bad downside, right? If your network is not very heavily loaded, you're increasing latency unnecessarily, right? So there are optimizations that people have been looking for this basically. You do this on high load. If you're congested, you start switching to this algorithm. If you're not congested, you use maybe dimension order routing. And or other optimization, you can restrict the intermediate node to be closed, maybe in the same quadrants, right? You can do that. And once you do that, your load balance actually degrades, right? Because you're not random anymore. You're not randomizing the load. So it's a pretty cool algorithm, and it's very fundamental. Okay. Any questions? If you're interested, you should really read more about this, because there's a lot of theory behind a lot of these algorithms and proofs. Let's look at adaptive routing. So adaptive routing, remember, takes into account network state to determine which routes you take between a source and destination. The true version of minimal adaptive, as I said before, rather uses network state to pick which productive output port to send a packet to. So minimal means you always go through the minimal path, minimal number of ports between source and destination. So which means that you always need to take the productive output port, which is the port that gets the packet closer to its destination. You have to pick that. So this is restricted clearly, right? Because there's only so many paths that are minimal between a source and destination. You can figure out the number in mesh. Actually, in a mesh there are quite a few still. But there are quite a few paths that you're not considering also. Right? So non-minimal is also called fully adaptive. You can take any path. You can circle around in the network 10 times and you eventually get to your destination. You can think of it that way, right? Basically, the idea over here is also called misrouting. You don't route the packet always closer to its destination, but sometimes you send the packet to a non-productive output port based on the network state. And this is where you can go, if you're coming from the north port, you go back to the north port. Okay. You can do that because the router says, oh, all of my links are busy, so I'm going to reject the packet back to you, and then you find a different path. Okay. So the minimal adaptive is a way of local congestion, so usually you can look at the local state. Of course, you discussed this minimality restricts achievable link utilization and load balance also. Non-minimal, you can achieve much better network utilization and load balance and adapt to the congestion characteristics, but there's one problem with it. Now you somehow guarantee live lock freedom. Well, deadlock may be less of an issue here. It's still an issue, but how do you guarantee live lock freedom? Because if you're taking non-minimal paths, how do you ensure that the packet eventually gets to its destination? Well, here we can discuss solutions. Does that make sense? Live lock, so what's the difference between deadlock and live lock? Deadlock basically, one packet is moving. As a result, you're stuck. Live lock is, packet is moving, but it's never reaching its destination, right? So one way of ensuring that doesn't happen is all dispersed arbitration. Basically, you assign an age to a packet, And as the packet becomes, you guarantee in each router that the oldest packet always takes the productive output port. If you do that clearly, eventually a packet will become oldest, and it will be prioritized in all routers, and it will get to its destination. The problem is oldest first operation is actually relatively complex, because if your router needs to compare age. If you have so many packets, then that comparison becomes complex. Okay. So there's more in adaptive routing. One benefit of adaptive routing is you can avoid faulty links in routers. And this is actually a problem, especially in large-scale systems. Maybe not as much on chip yet, but in large-scale systems you have faulty links. How do you avoid them? XY dimensional routing is terrible at avoiding them, right? What if your what if an router on your route gets stuck, right? Well, too bad. You really need adaptive routing to be able to do this. And the idea of routing around faults, and people have developed many algorithms to do this. I'm not going to cover all of them. But basically, you need to change the routing table to disable faulty routes somehow, assuming you can detect the faulty link or router. So there needs to be a detection mechanism for this also. So there are many works in this area, but this is one of the recent examples. So, and you can imagine there are many overheads associated with it also. So you need low overheads, and if you have a network, you want mechanisms that don't require coordination across the entire network. One way is requiring coordination across the entire network, right? But that requires a lot of messages. And you need to guarantee delivery somehow. And when your network is broken, one of the issues here, when you have a fault in the network, if you make plans to the case that your destination is never reachable, right? In that case, you really would like to detect that relatively quickly and say, I'm not going to ever reach my destination, so I better do something else. So your algorithm needs to be good enough to detect that also. Okay. Any questions on routing? I guess this is one of the facile frontiers that covers routing. But hopefully it's clear. You have the key routing algorithm, deterministic, oblivious, and adaptive. Okay. Let's talk about buffering and flow control. We can talk about this for days also. Yes.
Is the adaptive concept still the background problem? Because it's very divergent, just not to like...
But you always take the productive output port. So you never go far away.
You want actually the...
Exactly. You want this route, basically.
So how is adaptive is a line of... If it is rejecting the packet, it is always... Nothing is moving in the system, right?
So what happens basically if you go far away from your destination? You somehow eventually have a mechanism to go toward your destination. Okay, so I'm going to skip this because we already talked about circuit and packet switching, but this actually affects your buffering and flow control clearly, right? For example, with circuit switching, you don't need buffers, really. With packet switching, you may or may not need buffers. So with packet switch networks, you need to have some packet formats. Again, I'm not going to go through this, but you need to have some routing and control information. You need to have payloads. Maybe you need to have error codes. That's also important. Your question? Okay. So one of the issues in flow control and buffering is how do you handle contention? Basically, you have two packets that are trying to use the same link at the same time. Think of this as a router. And two packets, one is coming from the north and the other is coming from the south, and they both want to go to west. And you have only one west output port. What do you do? It's a very fundamental question, actually. Well, I guess I'm giving you the answers, but one thing is you buffer the one that you cannot send, so you need buffers. The second thing you can do is drop one and ask the sender to retransmit. Now you see that there's an overhead, but that could be possible. Internet, for example, drops packets if there's too much congestion, and eventually the source will somehow figure out and retransmit. So that's one way. Another way is actually saying messages, negative acknowledgement messages, sending those messages back to the source such that the source is aware of something being dropped. Or you can just drop one. Basically, if you have neither buffers, you don't drop anything, but you deflect. Now what does this mean? Basically, this packet really wants to go here, but you don't send it there, you send it over here. You find an output port that's not supervised and you send it over there. That's one way of misrouting. That way you eliminate the buffers. But there are a lot of trade-offs associated with it, clearly. Dropping actually can eliminate buffers also, but now you need to have a mechanism for retransmit. Deflecting eliminates buffers also, but now needs to have a mechanism. Basically detecting the export path diversity also. Okay, you can think about this. But there are also several flow control methods. We're going to look at some of these. Circuit switching is definitely one flow control method. We're going to look at bufferless flow control. Could be packet or foot-based. Store forward, virtual cut-through, and worm hole. People actually design networks with all of these. So circuit switching. So if you look at circuit switching, the granularity of resource allocation is really high. You're really allocating an entire path of resources on circuit switching. So you need to pre-allocate resources across multiple switches for a given flow. Flow means source and destination pair. And as you discussed, you need to send a probe to set up the path. So the upside is there's no need for buffering here. There's no contention because you really isolate that flow. So you don't have, if you want predictable performance, it's actually pretty good for predictable communication performance. And you can add the other to your message size. Once you set up the path, you can transfer, I don't know, maybe 1 megabyte of data, or 1 gigabyte of data. You can stream through the network. The downside is slower link utilization. As we discussed, two flows cannot use the same link. It's really dedicated to one source and destination pair, and then the handshake overhead. Let's look at bufferless deflection routing. This is also an old idea. This is different from blocking deflection routing. But basically, you don't have, packets are never buffered in the network. When two packets consent for the same link, one is really deflected. And this is actually a really nice paper that talks about a lot of different aspects of communication networks by Paul Baran that introduced this idea. Let me give you the idea so that you can see what misrouting is. So let's say you have these two packets, blue and red. They're both trying to go to the same destination. And they arrive at the same router. Somehow they get routed this way. Now, they both need this link. While they both cannot take that link, so what the router does is it grants the link to the red one, but it sends the blue one to some route that it really shouldn't go to, right? That's non-minimal now if you go this way. The minimal route is only this one. And the red reaches its destination. Now the blue is taking the longer, more scenic route, if you will. And the blue eventually hopefully gets routed to its destination, right? So this is actually one way of handling contention in the network. If you have without requiring buffering, you can handle take a different path. Just longer. Now, would you want to do it? Now, there are trade-offs associated with it, right? If your buffers are really expensive and energy inefficient, whereas links are less expensive and more energy efficient, this may be a good idea, right? Because now you're utilizing your link more. But instead of buffering, you're going through 1, 2, 3 more links instead of going through one link plus buffering cost. So it really depends on what is your cost. And you can, in this case, you need to inject new traffic whenever there's a few output links. So you need to actually send the output links. Otherwise, you cannot inject traffic because you don't have buffers. So it's the most extreme form. And this is also called hot potato routing for good reason. So you can think of a packet as a potato, and routers are people who are trying to hold the potato, but they cannot hold it for long because the potato is too hot. So they have to send it somewhere. When they receive a packet, they don't hold it, they just send it somewhere, and that somewhere anywhere, even though the potato needs to be eventually transferred to its destination. Okay, this is also for the internet, but a lot of it is not employed in the internet because you really don't need, you can have buffering in the internet. But this may be a pretty good idea for a one-chip network where buffering is expensive, and hopefully if we'll have time, we'll talk about that too. Okay. Okay, so basically what does this do to the router? We're going to see this router in a little bit more, but basically, if you have buffers, these have input buffers, and this is one example of the router, and then those buffers feed into this crossbar. But you can eliminate all that complexity, if you will, if you get rid of all of those buffers. But then, of course, this comes at a cost, right? The buffering actually provides you the ability to inject more into the network. And you can inject more and eventually buffers actually hold, so you get much higher bandwidth from the network, much higher throughput from the network. If you eliminate all the buffers, you reduce your maximum throughput in the network. In a sense, you're using the links as your buffers. Okay. But eventually all your links become full That's the maximum throughput you can reach. Now the efficiency of the network is now very much dependent on how you do the routing amongst a lot of your network, a lot of your links are full. Okay, so let's take a look at more buffered flow control now. Let's assume you have buffers. We're going to look at how you do the buffering, because that's also important, and it comes at different cost points. So one really early proposal for this was forward flow control. Basically, it's packet-based flow control. You don't have flits. You just look at entire packets. The packet is copied entirely into the network router before moving to the next node. And flow control units is the entire packet. So examples here, the pretty high packet latency because you need to wait until all of the packets are received in the router so that you can move to the next router. And it requires buffering for the entire packet in each node. So this is one example. That's the source destination. This router waits until it receives the entire packet before it starts transmitting it. So the next router also does that. The next router also does that. And eventually it gets the packet. So can you do better? People have asked that question. And yes, you can do better. This is called cut-through. Well, you can read the paper why there's a name like that. But this is another form of packet-based flow control. You start forwarding as soon as the header is received and resources are allocated. So if you look at this, you get very high reduction in latency, but you still allocate the buffers and channel bandwidth for packets. Basically, okay, let me run through the animation. So you can see that. So now your allocation unit is full packets. So you waste some space in the routers. So move the packets are large, that's not a good idea actually. This leads to smaller packets in the end. So if you want large packets, you waste space. Okay, I'm going to skip that. So how can you do better? This is actually employed in many networks. So if you look at Crave TCP, for example, it's a wormhole flow control. So if you break the packet, the idea is to break the packets into smaller slits, this is the buffer or bandwidth allocation unit, and switch are sent across the fabric in a wormhole fashion. So what's a wormhole? You can think of that packet consisting of smaller slits, and you have a worm now. The head, you have the head slit, that's the head of the worm, and the body follows the head, and eventually the tail slit follows the body. Actually, everybody follows the head, but you have a special marker at the tail slit saying that's the end of the worm. Just like worms. So it's pipelined. Now you can do the allocation at the flip ground legs, not the entire packet ground legs. Okay. But routing at the packet ground legs. Okay. You don't need to do the routing. You need to do the routing and allocation only for the headers. Okay. And for everybody else, every other flip in the packet follows. Make sense? So this reduces your buffering requirements significantly because now your buffers at the ground legs, your flits, not packets. That's the key idea over here. And also, your routing is efficient because you don't need to route for each flit. Also, your message sizes, your packet size is also efficient because you just need the headers in the head flit. You don't need the header for every single flit. So if the header is locked, the rest of the packet stops. And routing information is off. Tail know where to go, which means that you need to keep some state in the router, right? When you receive a head packet, then you need to keep some, after you do the routing, you keep some state. And now your latency is almost independent of distance for long messages, right? Because you don't need to wait for the entire packet, this should be actually packet. So I guess if your message consists of packets, then it's all for messages. Okay. So let me advance over the store and forward. Store and forward, remember, we have just the full packet, and we buffer the full packet. So if you get lower latency, you don't need to wait until you receive the entire packet to send it to the next router. And you also get more efficient buffer utilization because your buffers are smaller now. It's on the order of flits, not the packets. But there are limitations, and one limitation is head-of-line blocking. It's actually true for the other ones also, but it becomes more severe when you actually have wormhole flow control. What is the idea of head-of-line blocking? I call this the curse of in-order scheduling. Basically, let's look at this. You have queues over here, input queues.